Speaking trends for a profitable 2024. We're in the final quarter of 2023, and that means it's time to start planning for our new year. If you want to use speaking to boost your business, you're in luck today here on WSA TV. Charmaine Hammond has an important update, some training coming up about how to leverage speaking for increasing profitability next year. Hi, Charmaine.
Hi, always nice to be with you, Laura.
Always great to be here with you because I always learn so much. I get inspired, and I think we come up with even new ideas together sometimes.
We do. I know there's a lot of energy that flows on these conversations.
Yeah. And before we get to 2024, I wanted to ask you about how has 2023 been for you as a speaker?
It's been a great year. One of the reasons I say that is that 2023, I saw events opening up again, not just online digital events, real events, in-person events, conferences, hybrid versions of live events. So that was really exciting for me, getting calls from organizations and event planners that I had worked with in the past where there was that slowdown during the pandemic. And, watching my fellow speaker colleagues on stages at events. And that's one of the big highlights for me in 2023. And the other highlight around speaking is just I'm finding that there's a lot more short notice events. So in years, let's say before COVID, often we were booking 9 months out, 10 months out, a year out. And I'm frequently getting calls. Do you have this date open at the end of November, for example, with 6 weeks or 2 months notice? And so there's an upside to that and a downside, of course. If you're available, it's great. If you're not, it's darn it.
Yeah, the nice thing is people are reaching out. I know I've reached out to a lot of people last minute too. So even in the events that I've been involved with putting out. So wow, we can get more on our calendars than we were even expecting if last minute, but I'm assuming that there's still the opportunity to look forward. So what have you learned that you're starting to put into action as a speaker?
One of the things I've learned, and this is coming from talking to a lot of event planners and organizers of conferences, and even the folks in corporations and organizations that bring speakers in to do their internal training and learning and development. One of the conversations I'm hearing across all sectors is that many are feeling done with the one and done. And so what I mean by that is that many corporate clients, many event planners are looking for some form of after event support, whatever that might be, whether it's a follow-up session or is there something that you can give people as a takeaway. And this is really important for speakers to start thinking about how can my training, how can my speaking engagement have a life after I leave the stage or after the Zoom room closes.
Well, that's a really smart way to think about it, even as a marketer, because that's the whole point. Speaking is a way to funnel people into a next step. So
exactly.
now we've got the permission of the event planners. That's really awesome to hear, Charmaine. That's exciting because now we can actually put together what I like to do, a comprehensive marketing plan around speaking that grows your business. And I know you've got this training coming up. But before I get to that, so let's talk about a couple more trends that you see coming in 2024 that you recommend planning for.
I'm seeing a lot of organizations, event planners, corporations still looking at a hybrid model. Not everybody is back to work in the workplace, for example, and they're looking for speakers to be flexible with their delivery style. Some purely want to have the speaker on a stage in person, at the event, and many are still looking at creating that option for video. I've also seen a bit of a trend probably that was created during the pandemic when people couldn't travel. So a keynote speaker, for example, couldn't get to their own conference to speak. And I'm hearing from some clients that they even want to explore the potential for the speaker to pre-record their presentation in the event that there's another shutdown or technology problems. For example, if the conference or event is an online event. So there's been a lot of learning, I think, for everyone, including event planners and people who plan events in their organizations. And they're looking to utilize that learning to kind of go forward for their events.
Well, I love that we're in a more technological world where more people are up to speed on using that technology. And the technology also became much easier to use, right? Like
Mhm.
Zoom, everybody got up to speed on it, but also organizations figured out how to use it. And Zoom itself got
Exactly.
more stable and
Yes.
easy to use. So it's really
Yeah.
nice that we can go hybrid, and that I guess that opens up the world of speaking. It kind of doubles the opportunities, or maybe even more, because there are so many
Mhm.
more events now acceptable online, and it's so much easier to do. I know
Yes.
I'm in conversations with organizations about events, and we're like, well, should we do them live and spend $30,000 on
Mhm.
a hotel, or should we do the hybrid model, or not the hybrid, the online model, and then maybe do one in-person event a year, that kind of thing.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely.
So tell us, you are our speaker success trainer this month, and we have a training coming up. And tell us about what you'll be covering in the training that has to do with leveraging speaking trends for 2024.
So I'll be sharing more trends with you that I think that everyone will find very interesting. There's a lot of great reports, and I'll talk about some of them because it's really important that we follow the trends of the industries that we work in so that we can always be relevant. We can be following what clients are looking for. One of the things we'll also be talking about is then how to leverage these trends as you start to plan out your 2024 and even 2025. We'll be talking a little bit about how to utilize observances. And those of you who have heard me talk before with WSA, you've heard me talk about observances, but this is really important, and one that I think all of us can relate to in some way as a speaker. And for those of you who are also a speaker with books, is International Women's Day happens every year in March. And now is actually the time to be planning for that, reaching out to companies, reaching out to event organizers. And then the other piece that we're going to cover more is we're going to talk about what are some proven strategies to secure speaking engagements. Because I know a lot of speakers struggle. They feel like they're floundering a bit. How do I tap into these engagements? How do I get booked? How do I promote myself to event planners? What is that process? And I'll be sharing some of that information. And also in my company, we are doing our final quarter of the year survey, which we do every year. Well, didn't do it as much during the pandemic, but we've done this quite a few times over the years to survey clients and potential clients around their training, event, and speaking needs. And so the results are coming in right now from the survey that we've circulated, and it's very illuminating. So I'll share some of what we're learning from that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always great to have boots on the ground information of what
Mhm.
event planners are really thinking, what they want. And I know you have the inside scoop because you're out there, you book out so many speaking engagements a year, and you're always generously sharing it. So I want to invite people to check us out at speakersuccesstraining.com. Your training is on October 18th. That's a Wednesday. It's at a new time at 2 p.m. Pacific, which is 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. London, UK time. And in Sydney, Australia, because we have so many awesome members with Women's Speakers Association down there, it's actually the 19th, Sydney time at 7 a.m. So I think we covered like a reasonable time. I know it's a
Yeah.
little late in the UK and a little early
Yeah.
in Sydney, but we're trying our best to get everyone to have this important information. I know I see on the speakersuccesstraining.com website, people are going to get some great takeaways,
Mm.
like how 3 great ways to find speaking engagements that you may not have already thought of, and leveraging LinkedIn effectively without being spammy, using
Yes.
images to promote your speaking and get you booked. Oh my gosh, any little tidbit you want to share?
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, let me talk about the images because we've started doing this consistently in my businesses, and we have several images, and I'll show people on screen on the 18th what those images are. Really super easy to create in Canva. I mean, I did them myself. Yeah, normally I give them to Stacy on my team, and I was really proud of myself. I was actually able to figure it out. She would do a way better job though. But these are images that show where you are appearing in the world, whether it's online, whether it's at an in-person event, whether it's at a book signing. And then the other one is specific events that you're speaking at that are not private corporate training mean they're actually a public event, using imagery to show that you are speaking at this event. And what that's doing, especially on LinkedIn, which is where those event planners are in terms of all the different social platforms, you're seeing that, or they are seeing that you're appearing at events perhaps similar to the ones that they might be organizing. So it's a great way of celebrating your client and the event that you're speaking at, as well as letting the world know you could do this for them too.
I love that it adds that credibility for you as a speaker, like, hey, I'm out there speaking, I'm at these prestigious events. And those oftentimes are the posts that get a lot of engagement because people are cheering you on. Your followers,
Right.
your friends, your colleagues are like, hey, great to see you out there, or I'll see you at the event, or
Mm-hmm.
congratulations on that speaking engagement. People like, it gives them visibility. So it builds its own momentum. I love that you're using images that way.
I figured you'd be proud of me on that one, Laura, being that you're a social media expert, and I've learned so much from you over the years, and that one is working. You're exactly, when you talked about that energy around it, I think that's exciting too. When you've got your friends and colleagues celebrating you, the client is seeing that, and so is the rest of the world and other event planners. So it gives that credibility that you spoke about, Laura, and it just creates a lot of excitement for that event.
Yes, I'm so excited you're doing that and that you're doing this training on October 18th. Again, people can go to speakersuccesstraining.com to find out about it. If you're already a Premier member, it comes free with your Premier membership here at Women Speakers Association. So if you're ready to leverage the speaking trends for 2024 and use it to grow and get more profitable in your business, you definitely want to show up and see Charmaine's talk and training there. Thank you again, Charmaine.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it. See you all there.
Okay, bye.